I ain't even have time to look
Yo,
up all the downs.
yo, not for
I
that. When you get mad,
but Joe just blew my mind in a second. But anyways, the show just started. We got a great show for you guys. Yo, this is week 15. The season's almost over. We at the last stretch coming up. We got a great show for you guys. We got Tim, we got Mike, we got Dula, we got Josh, we got James. Great show for you guys. Tim, take it away.
Oh, let's do it.
yo, Sean, you have to say that all over again because season's not almost over for my Cowboys. We're 2 games behind. Anything can happen. Just letting you guys know.
We already had this discussion, Tim.
Oh, Sean,
No need to go into
Hey, Mike, fix your face. Mike, fix your face.
Nah, I refuse.
All right, first and 10. Is Odell Beckham Jr. the best wide receiver in the NFL right now? Right, no, just this season. Not overall, this season alone.
No.
No. Look, I'm biased because, as we all know, in the 2-Minute Warning Dynasty League, I got him for clean pickings. I pretty much got Odell Beckham Jr. for free from Sir Tim Dog. So thanks a lot.
Wow.
For me in the playoffs because you took a fat-ass running back named Eddie Lacy. I told you he was fat. But anyway, back to the question. I mean, he's top 3 easy. I mean, I guess if you want to be a fan, you could call him number 1 without sounding like an idiot. I mean, but I still think Antonio Brown, he's had to do it with Mike Vick and Andrew Jones. You know what I mean? So I think he can be in the discussion. I don't think it's out the pale. I mean, he's had what, at least 500 or 600 yard games this season. So he's doing great. So I guess you could put him in the top. He's in the conversation. Let's put it like that. I'll leave it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not the best in the league, man. He's got to do it for like another 5 or 6 years, and
this season.
No, because I'm tired of people in 2MW. When I think that I can even bring him in a discussion, and they always got a problem with it. So no, he's not in a discussion for best wide receiver in the league. He's very talented. He's the best wide receiver. Not you. You're right. Not you. He's the best wide receiver on the New York Giants. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Cool.
I'm inclined to say no. I don't think he's the best. I'd still take Antonio Brown when it comes down to it. I think he's absolutely a very elite receiver. I think also what helps Antonio Brown's case out is if you look across from him, he has some pretty good receivers in Martavius Bryant and Marcus Wheaton. For the most part, and he has a running game too. So if you look at that total offense, it allows him to rack up the yards. Beckham, on the other hand, I'm not gonna say he's doing it on his own. I mean, Eli Manning isn't bad, but he's not Ben Roethlisberger, and that whole offense in Pittsburgh, they get the receivers down the field a lot more. With that said, I'd like to see him improve his catch rate. It's not terrible, but I think there are 1 or 2 other receivers that have a better catch rate. But I'd say number 2 behind Antonio Brown.
Wow.
Yeah, my thing is it's the consistency, and the thing that Odell doesn't have on his in his half of the court right now is the time. He has to put in the seasons, and nothing he can do about that. He's got to let time do its own thing. So obviously, AB, he's been a beast ever since he came into the league. The only year he didn't have 1,000 yards was in 2012, and of course his rookie year. But 2012 he only started 10 games, and he still got close to 800 yards. So I mean, the boy's amazing what he does. You see the separation. Doesn't matter who's guarding him. Doesn't matter the secondary, the safety that's over the top. AB's going to find a way to get open, and he finds a way. It doesn't matter if Mike Vick's thrown to him or Tommy Maddox comes back from the XFL. He's going to find a way to get open. So he's just it's going to be hard to top that. That's what I'm saying. But if Odell, he's on pace slowly to get up there. He's putting on those games where it makes you ooh and ah and start to put him in that discussion though.
But Josh, he was with AB. I'm sorry, real quick. AB was non-existent with Landry Jones, not Landry Jones, with Mike Vick. He was non-existent
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, there was a couple games
That
right
may
there.
be a
All right.
bigger incident.
All right. Before I say my piece, I'm gonna give a toast to my boy Ronald, Robin, all my Cowboy family, 2 million warning. Please don't get mad. I'm always a realist on this show, so and I'm gonna say this, How they interview guys, especially Josh and my man Coop, should be shaming yourself. Odell Beckham Jr. is the best wide receiver this season. This season, I said before the season started, he's my top 5. He is the best wide receiver this season. Let's bring this back. Does he have Martavis Bryant next to him? Wait, let's be consistent. 2 minute warning. We trashed Eli Manning. I've never trashed Eli Manning. So if Eli Manning is garbage, and you got Odell Beckham Jr., he has no Martavis Bryant, no DeAndre Williams next to him. Hell, he even got a Heath Miller. He got a guy named Ty. So if he doesn't have the surrounding, and he's 95% of the offense with Eli Manning, I mean, not for nothing. Not even Randy Moss had years like that with nobodies. Randy Moss had Chris Carter, Jake Reed, all right? He had Culpepper. He had Randall Cunningham. He had Robert Smith. And he had a defense. Where's the Giants' defense ranked? Number 29 and number 30? So when you have a quarterback who gets no respect from nobody and a wide receiver, you know who I troll, yes, I do, all for fun, no disrespect, but let's keep it real. This guy is the best wide receiver this year. Let's hands down. I'm not going to lie about it because I came out and said Dez Bryant was the best wide receiver 2 years ago when he exploded. It's that simple. Now, all time is another different thing. Comparing Dez and comparing Odell Beckham Jr. is the type of wide receiver you want. They both different. Odell Beckham Jr. is using the same role as Victor Cruz, but better. When you can get an 84-yard touchdown, like no problem, no matter how bad the defense is reading you, that tells you something. Everybody here and everybody 2 minute warning should get a Christmas card and say, I'm sorry, Eli Manning. I apologize. Because guess what? Hey, then we say Cam Newton is the MVP this year, but Eli Manning has the same amount of yards and stats as Cam Newton. 3,654 yards to which barely 3,000 yards. And he doesn't have Luke Kuechly on defense. He doesn't have James Stewart running the ball. It's not easy when you're passing the ball 24/7 when your running game is trash. Your offensive line is trash. Cool. Didn't we say in the beginning about the offensive line? I said it was trash. Eli Manning's making the offensive line way better. He's making everybody better. How about this? You bring in Hakeem Nicks. Who's getting the ball? Who else is getting the ball? Nobody else is getting the ball but Odell Beckham Jr. It's an Eli and Odell Beckham Jr. show, so I'm sorry to say Eli Manning is the best wide receiver this season, hands down.
Okay. I mean, if you want to put monikers, but you know what? Here's my thing. I still have a problem going all the way out on that because everything is an ecosystem. Everything right now, there's one season of film on Odell Beckham, as opposed to an Antonio Brown who has 4 years and people still don't know how to keep up with this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that this year. Look, this year it's insane, but my thing is that cachet needs to be built no matter what. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it.
Plus, it is different eras too. You do have to look at that. I mean, everyone brings it up from time to time about the passing and the rushing and everything. It sounds cliche because it's brought up so much, but you do actually look at the stats. I actually surprised myself just looking at the rushing leaders year by year. You look at the 2015 season right now. We have 2 people right now over 1,000 yards. That's AP and Doug Martin. There's a few others that are in the 900s with Stuart Gurley and Ivory, and the rest are 800 and below. You've never seen a season like this where we're probably only going to have maybe 8 to 9 rushers with over 1,000 yards. You go back to the 2006 regular season, you had 23 players with over 1,000 yards rushing. You don't see that anymore, and it's going to continue to be like that as the seasons go on. Could you imagine if Randy Moss was 21 right now with the rules that the offense have, and it would be amazing. He would probably produce even more with what he has to work with in this day and age in the NFL.
And went to add on. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Josh.
That was my only argument. It is a different area. It's definitely benefiting players like Odell and Antonio, the smaller wide receivers. But I mean, if you brought Rice and Moss and when they were young bucks into the day and age now, who knows what they would be doing?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Randy Moss set up everybody. The passing league started. Matter of fact, the passing league mostly started with the Rams, the greatest show on turf. So when everybody's seeing,
you could argue that he started the era of the
he started. Listen,
dominant receiver.
I mean, right now it is what it is. This is what the game is about. This is what it is. And can we argue like back in the day? Of course we can, but. The thing is this: the Giants are doing what they're supposed to do around Odell Beckham Jr., but it's still hard where you have nobody around you who could. If I can't perform, who else can they lean on? Nobody.
But Tim, let me ask you a question, man. And this is the thing. I said what I said, tongue in cheek, when you asked me the question about him being the best wide receiver in the league. Of course, I think he is. But I said what I said, tongue in cheek, because I get tired of arguing with people. I need time and this, that, and the other thing. But what you said was perfect. But my point to you is this. Let me ask you this. People always complain about his targets. But me personally, I find it amazing is that he is the only weapon on that team. And teams are not stopping him. I mean, he's had some hiccups in the beginning of the season because like teams had 1 year film on him. Then he turned around week 5 or 6, and he made an adjustment. Now he's tearing everything up again. You know what I mean? I think it's amazing for me personally.
It is.
I think one thing that we fail to talk about sometimes, and it's not a stat that's or anything that's like really that shows up on a stat sheet unless you watch the games. I mean, right now I choose AB over Odell Beckham Jr. Mostly because honestly, in the run game, I like AB as a blocker better than I do OBJ. Not saying that Odell Beckham can't block. I think that's just one part of his game that he needs to refine at this point that Antonio Brown kind of has down right now is being a blocker in the run game. That's clutch, and on those outside runs and things like that to have a guy who can put a corner or a safety on their butt.
Okay, but to your point about him being the only weapon, look, I love football. I still hate basketball, but there's a point that's worth bringing up. The reason why you need more time on an OBJ is he could really be a Kevin Love. He could really be like, look, he's good, but when you're good on a garbage team and you got to force him the ball, he could look amazing. I think it's impressive what Antonio Brown's doing because he got some beasts, but he's still head honcho. He's still the number one option. I think that's not saying to take away from him, but it's worth noting. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, they not with all the gaudy stats, like he said himself in the interview, they still losing. So that's kind of something worth noting, I guess.
Well, here's the thing, though, and I'll tell you this: the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers are not winning games because of just Antonio Brown. It's just not that. They're winning because the overall team is that good. And again, Martavis Bryant and even what's the cat's name from Oklahoma State, Wheaton. That's a good. He got somebody around him. Right now with Odell Beckham Jr., you move him around, and I mean, let's keep it real. It's not easy being the only guy, just the only guy on that offense, and you cannot hold him. You can't contain him. If he goes down, Eli Manning's done. Because and Eli, don't get me wrong, Eli's doing his job. He's getting to the best receivers. Odell Beckham Jr., Hakeem Nick just came back. He hasn't got a ball. Dwayne Harris has been disappeared. Nobody else is getting tied. The tight end, undrafted guy, is the second best wide receiver tight end on that roster. That's bad. So with a messed up O-line, not a great surrounding, not even a great running back, none of that, you got to get Odell props. That's why I separate Odell from Antonio Brown. Now, make no mistake, I still think if my man Des Bryant was treated good by Gary and the other assholes, I'll say it, the other assholes, and use him more to put him in a slot and move him around, we're going to have the same production. But of course, we didn't do that. Hopefully, next year we take care of that. But as of right now, Odell Beckham Jr. hands down is the best wide receiver, and I'm gonna stand by it. If he goes to the playoffs, I'm gonna stand by it. The NFC East is going to the chip. I've said that.
Well, anyways, let me just state
Surprise
that.
everybody.
So we probably have to do some quick last words. But I do want to mention, let me bring it back up, Victor. He did say a couple of things. He pointed to you, Michael. He loves Kobe, damn it. I don't, but he also stated that Antonio has plenty of help.
He does.
To that point. So,
he does.
Anyways, let's have final words. Josh, we barely heard you. You have any final words for this show before we move on to the next down?
No, I got my jabs in. I pretty much said what I had to.
Can I clarify one thing real quick? Yeah. Don't base my comparison on targets, because the thing is, it doesn't make a difference with targets. What makes the difference is what does he do with the ball and what's the result. Forget the targets.
But see,
forget the targets.
But like I started out saying, you're not crazy to say he's number one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying my preference.
Right.
I don't know. I'm probably basing it off more cachet.
Right.
But you ain't wrong if you said he's the best right now. You can't.
Yes.
Especially when he's looking like idiots going up on a post and go.
Yeah, listen, he's also the best at at swapping jerseys in the middle of the field. So.
On that note, folks, we'll be right back for second down. We'll be right back.
Wow.